Namaste, welcome to the third episode of One Shot series. Today we'll be covering the third chapter, Technical Terms of Carnatic Music. So, when we look into music, there are two types of music, Marga Sangita and Desi Sangita. The Marga Sangita is a form of music, the classical or traditional form of music, which is currently being practiced and is associated with the Gandharva Vidya. It is also considered as a divine music and is called as Devagana. On the other hand, Desi Sangita refers to the regional or folk forms of music that are practiced in various regions or countries. Example, Hindustani and Carnatic music. Svato Ranjayati Shrotruchittam Saswaramuchyate. So, what does this Subhashita actually mean? A sound that independently delights and pleases the mind of the listener is called a swara or a musical note. So, this is given in the book called Sangeeta Ratnakara. So, there are seven such notes known as the Sapta Swaras. So, these are namely Shadja, Rishabha, Gandhara, Madhyama, Panchama, Daivata, and Nishada, the seven Sapta Swaras. Saptaswaras can now be divided into two, Prakriti and Vikriti Swara. Prakriti Swara are the natural notes. This is unchanged and it remains in its original form. On the other hand, Vikriti Swara are the modified notes which can change. So these Vikriti Swaras are Rishabha, Gandhara, Madhyama, Daivata, and Nishada. On the other hand, Prakriti Swaras are Shadja and Panchama. So these Vikriti Swara take different forms due to their various sthana beda. So as you can see in the table, Rishabha has three forms, Gandhara has three forms. Madhyama, so this is Shuddha Madhyama, kindly change. This will be Shuddha Madhyama. And this is Prati Madhyama and Shuddha Daivata, Chaturshruti Daivata, Shatshruti Daivata. So there are different sthana vedas for each swara. Moving on, we have nada, which means sound. Nada is the embodiment of the Omkara. It is the Swarupa of Omkara. Through the practice of nada, which is also called as nada upasane, it is believed that one worships the uh, lords, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, who represent the Nada Brahma themselves. So, Nada Brahma is the divine form of sound. The nada is present in the Brahma Granthi that is manifested through the navel, the heart, human heart, throat, head, and mouth. So these are the organs through which nada can be manifested according to the Brahma Grantha. So this is a very simple flow chart. From nada, we can form a syllable, akshara, through which a word can be formed, through which speech will be formed, and lastly, communication. Thus, the entire world is dependent on nada. So, nada is of two types, ahata nada and anahata nada. Ahata nada is produced with an external force or the human effort. On the other hand, anahata nada is the sound that arises naturally. It is not, purposefully produced. It arises naturally. For example, it arises naturally through the hearts or within the hearts of the yogis through the yogic power. Now, when we look into the production of sound, when an object is being vibrated, it rhythmically compresses on the air molecules which surrounds it. So then the air is spread in all directions in the form of waves. And when these waves reach our ears, we perceive the sound which is being vibrated on a particular object. So we can say that without air, sound cannot be heard. So air is the major medium for us to hear any type of sound. In simple terms, sound is the result of action and interaction. A sound can be heard only if an object vibrates at least 16 times per second. As the number of vibrations per second increases, the intensity or the pitch of the sound also increases. So now sound can be classified into nada, noise, or explosive sound, which is also called as spota. Now, when we look into the sound production in the human body, the human organs are responsible Namely, first of all, we use the term larynx. The organ responsible for producing sound is larynx or the voice box. It is located at the upper part of the windpipe and is connected to the lungs. Now, inside the two horizontal bands called the vocal cords, there is an opening. There is a very small opening between them, between the vocal cords, called the glottis. And the vibrations of the vocal cords, it can help produce sound. And when the lungs supply air pressure, the vocal cords can vibrate. In turn, the muscles control the width of the glottis and the tension between vocal cords to, control the intensity of the sound through the pressure which is being applied. So, this is how sound can be produced in the human body. When we now look into Shruti, which is called as microtone, the smallest interval between two swaras or two notes is called Shruti. So, this is the basic definition of Shruti. So, there are considered to be 22 Shrutis in per octave or asthai. As the frequency of vibration will increase, the pitch of the note becomes higher, and this in turn becomes a new sthai. So, there are three sthais which we will learn uh, later. So, yeah, Shruti is the mother of music. So, music without Shruti is like a child without a mother. Arohana, Avarohana. So, the ascending order of the notes of the Saptaswara is Arohana, and the descending order of the Saptaswaras is called the Avarohana. Now, when we look into sthai or octave, a group of swaras between two shadjas, the sa, two shadjas that fit in ascending or descending pattern is called a sthai. So there are three types of sthai: mandra, madhya, and tara. The lower octave, the middle octave, and the higher octave. So notes below the shadja in descending order, represented by a dot below each swara, is mantra sthai or the lower octave. Madhya sthai shadja. So when it moves in an ascending manner till the next tara shadja, this is called the madhya sthai. So now, when it comes to Tharasthai, the Shadja after the Nishada, the Tara Shadja, in an ascending order moves further. This is called the Tarasthai, and this is represented through a dot above the Swara. So further division also include Anumandra, which is very lower octave, and the Atitara, which is the very higher octave. So through this, we complete our third chapter, technical terms of music. So in the next chapter, we will learn about ragas. So stay tuned. Let us meet in the next episode. Bye bye.